Hello YouTube, I'm Kaeden. Welcome to episode 3 of Topia. With the holidays behind us, activity has picked up once again on the server, with more players having time to log in and play. As for me, I think it's high time we took a long look at our starter shack. It had been getting too crowded for a while, so I finally got everything out of it, moved it all into some chests at the edge of my property, which was probably a bad plan, as this creeper hole will agree, but it'll be fine. With the house empty, I could finally tear down the walls, floors, and ceilings and start on something bigger and cooler. For the vision I have in mind, I'll need some room to work, and Topia has a Y level 100 height limit to keep things aesthetically pleasing. That means we'll be digging down. I carved away a bunch of layers from the hill where my base used to sit, and then started digging the lower portion as a cylinder in the center. I did find something interesting while mining, that when I mine blocks at maximum reach, I seem to be able to mine them faster. Danny came over and took a look, and we both agree that Bedrock is causing some strange interaction with the Java server where I can mine blocks faster. Trust me, I'm not complaining. It really sped up the process of digging the hole. With it fully dug, it was time to put on the signature Kaeden touch with concrete. I'm finally at a place with sand and gravel where I can afford to make massive amounts of concrete, so I coated the inside walls with white powder all the way around. Then I turned all that powder into solid and started on the floor. Some glazed terracotta alongside blue and red concrete with some sea lanterns thrown in for good measure seems to be the look I'm going for. Down here is going to be my main storage area, and I didn't want something square, so I arranged all the double chests into a circle with room behind them to eventually put in some kind of sorting system. This is how it ended up looking. Finally, I was able to move everything from the chest monster up top down into the new storage room, keeping everything nice and organized with item frames, and I love it. Last episode, we opened the Kaeden Nether Highway Authority, and it seems we have some competition. I think it was Pyrat who built these tunnels, and aside from them being a bit in your face with the sea lanterns, he did a really great job. I see he plans on putting in a map system. Can't imagine where he got that idea. Back at the KNHA headquarters, we have a donations chest for materials that I used to build the Nether Highways. Looks like the Topians have been pitching in for some lovely community projects. Very nice. Also, Albino did a little bit of landscaping work out back, which looks wonderful. And he installed his own office, apparently. Now, we need to check and see if any requests have been made for Nether Highways. A glitch in the way that Bedrock interacts with the Java server means I can't actually see the book that's on the podium, but it's definitely there. See? Albino wants us to do a pathway out to his mob farm, and Zany wants us to go to some specific coordinates and open a courthouse. Though I'm not sure how the Kaeden Nether Highway Authority is supposed to have anything to do with legal proceedings, but whatever. I want to see exactly what is at these coordinates, so let's take a little elytra flight and find out. Ah, frozen ocean biome. As far as I know, it's the first time a good supply of ice has been located. That definitely counts as a destination for the greater community good. Time to start a highway. Step 1, I find a good place to start from, this time being Albino's nether portal area, and I dig a test tunnel to the destination in the nether. Once I'm happy with the route, I expand the tunnel and lay down granite slabs to keep hoglins from spawning on it. Here's the portal itself, a nice big 4x4 that looks good from the 2-wide pathway we'll ultimately be using. And after a few days of work, this is what the pathway is looking like. It might look unfinished, but that's just because I'm focusing on the most essential things to make the biggest parts of the pathway the safest possible in the shortest amount of time. It takes a lot of resources to make these pathways happen, and that is why your Topian donations are so much appreciated. The skyline of Topia is always changing as people update their builds, so let's go see what some of our neighbors have been up to. Benji removed his berry bush fence and built a really cool skull across the river. He says he's thinking about moving in there permanently, out of his little tent. Rory has really been working hard with easily the biggest base in Topia by far. The concrete is a cool look, but the interior is a bit bare. I'm sure he has plans to do something with it eventually. Damaga's entire house has been renovated with Albino's help to look like a castle. Probably needs a roof though, or some torches, call me crazy. Danny Depresso loves the simple life. It's so dark at his base at night that we're thinking about charging him a licensing fee for a mob farm. Most of his infrastructure is underground, but it looks like he's working on something on the surface. We will be watching. Wolfboy's base came out of nowhere, built in just a few days between Neon's base and mine. I love the roofline, and even had some input on the floor pattern. I absolutely love it. And being neighbors, he's always coming over and buying stuff from me. I'm okay with it. And that's it for this episode of Topia. Thank you so much for coming. I'm Kaeden. If you'd like to know more about our server, come and join us on discord.KaedenCraft.com. And if you've enjoyed this video, feel free to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time in Topia.